Hey guys, it's Mo with, well, a newsy nugget and a little bit of a longer one, but I definitely wanted to get this story out there because the headline is just so doggone strange. She vanished decades ago, then her skeletal remains were mailed to the police, and now she's been ID'd. I mean, with a head like that, who couldn't dig into this article? It is going to be a bit of a longer one, but her story needs to be told, so let's get into it. Kay Josephine Medin, 48, vanished from her rural Northern California home in 1987. And she was a beautiful woman. Look at that smile. She just seems so full of life. And I hope we get answers to what happened to her. Besides being mailed like a daggone, parcel or something from Timu. What the heck? Who does that? Californian authorities received the missing person report on August 3rd, 1987. Nicholas Medin reported that he had gone on a business trip and his 48-year-old wife, Kay Josephine Medin, was missing when he returned to their Hyampom home. The Trinity County Sheriff's Office searched the property and the surrounded wooded area, but there were no signs of the elementary school teacher. Friends and family were interviewed, but no significant clues ever emerged. She never showed up at school, Humboldt County Sheriff's Office cold case investigator Michael Friedley, who is investigating the case, told People. They checked, they contacted her school, and they said that she seemed to be in good spirits and happy. She also didn't have any medical issues or anything. So that's what obviously made everyone wondered what the heck happened. Her stuff is still at the house. Her car's still there. She just disappeared. Her disappearance from the rural Californian community was deemed suspicious. Then on November 25th, 1987, the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office received a gruesome package in the mail. The box contained skeletal remains and an anonymous letter with a map leading to a location of more remains. What in the Hannibal Lecter, just absolute, along came a spider, gross, weird. I'm trying to think of actual, fictional, serial unalivers who have the whole plot thing. I mean, just why? Just why would you do that? Also, didn't it leak or I don't know. You'd think, well, did the post system start using x-rays at that point on certain packages and parcels? Was Ted Kaczynski, working at this time? I remember him. I just don't remember his long storied career, of being a jerk who sent, exploding things through the mail. So, but I knew that they had added x-rays to kind of combat that sort of behavior. Would you think they'd pick up a skeleton, but maybe they weren't operable? Look, 1987, I was not of an age to be really worried about the post office. So, but I do know I can look back. So the map gave directions to a location near Amon Ridge Road in eastern Humboldt County. It was very straightforward and generic, he said about the letter. There the detectives found more remains and were able to positively identify them as K using dental records. The remains were not buried. The death certificate was issued for K the following year in 1988. Who may have written the letter is still considered a mystery. It could go either way, said Friedley. It could have been someone that was deer hunting or didn't want to get involved, or it could be the unaliver. Who knows? Now, the case took another twist on February 16th, 1993, when the Fortuna Police Department contacted Humboldt County deputies with yet another gruesome discovery. This time, a partial skull was found on the beach near Trinidad Head, which is about 150 miles away from where Kay's earlier remains were discovered. However, a DNA sample was taken and entered into the California Missing Person Database and National Unidentified Person DNA Index. There was no match. So we thought, I guess this is alluding to the fact that the skull was not with the other set of, well, no, it had to be with them because of the dental records. So I don't know. Maybe they were looking to see if this was sort of a serial type thing, if you catch my drift. The Humboldt County Sheriff's Office received community project funding from Congressman Jared Huffman's office to clear the backlog of unidentified human remains cases and sent the partial skull found on the beach to a private forensic lab, Orthram Inc. Now, I do think Orthram Inc. has sort of maybe a patent or something. I see their name pop up a lot in ancestral or genealogical DNA, so they might be the only lab or one of very few that specialize in this. I don't know why I found that important to tell you. I just watch way too much true crime and I hear Othram or Ortham. Look, I probably say it wrong. I think it's Othram. Sorry. Now, Othram later determined that the skull likely had belonged to Kay in September 2024. Investigators spoke to Kay's daughter and obtained a DNA sample for her. In early May 2025, the California Department of Justice confirmed that that particular skull belonged to Kay. Now, I am confused because they said up here that they issued her death certificate and got it. Okay, detectives found more remains than they were able to positively identify them using her dental records. So it must have been partial skull. So maybe they had some of the bridge work or dental work or, fillings and stuff from partial. Okay, I answer my own question. Pay attention to the article. Doggone it. Sorry, let's continue. Now, says Friedley, he's hoping someone will come forward with information to help him solve the case. I'm just looking for someone that might have some information that could help with this case, he said. That's going to be someone who has information that could get this case together. And a lot of times, as times goes by, people might come forward to talk with us that were reluctant back then. Now, Nicholas Medin passed away in August 2018. So if anyone with information is asked to contact the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office in California. And I do hope that someone comes forward. My heart breaks that this woman seemed to have come to a terrifying, lonely end, away from her family and friends and unidentified or only partially identified, for years and years. So I do hope that with the passage of time, it becomes maybe a burden on someone's soul, on someone's heart, and they come forward. That's not always the case. Hopefully it is in some way helpful to the family that they were able to identify, more remains so more could be laid to rest. But it does break my heart that a woman with a smile like this, who was a teacher, who was shaping young minds, came to such a sad end. And I do hope that they are able to solve her case, and get some answers for a family. Unfortunately, her husband passed away before he got any answers. But I do hope that there are answers and someone comes forward and, clears their conscience. But as always, thank you for listening with me. If you have any thoughts, comments, put them down below. Do all of the YouTubey things. As always, as I say every time, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire, because kindness doesn't equal doormat. I'll talk at you later, my lovelies.